I guess I'm recording this. I feel really funny. People have been talking about these Epstein files for so long, and I mean, like, I watched the few documentaries, and I thought I knew what they were talking about. And I guess they just released, or not I guess, they just released more. And so I woke up and my algorithm feed is like, it's not even just like some, what you would consider like fringe people talking about stuff. Like, it's consistent, and I haven't looked into the files yet, but like, all of these people have and did. And I imagine like all these people that I follow, we'll be talking about it. Because right now I don't know how to accept that it's real. Like, it almost feels like paradigm shifting. Like, I found myself just being like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like I had this like feeling, thought that came up of like, wait, what? Like, what is reality in the world and humans? Like, I had this feeling of like, how am I living in a world where I'm breathing the same air and I'm existing within this reality construct where like, I don't know how to process and accept this information? Like, I haven't verified it for myself, but there were so many people when I was just scrolling through the feed, so many people talking about it. And there'd be no reason why my algorithm would suddenly be showing that, because it's not something I've been clicking on and following. I feel like it's just, that's how many people are talking about it. I don't know how to accept this as real. Like, it's breaking my mind. Because you hear of like crazy things, and you just always believe it's like conspiracy theory, or like I don't know how to accept being in a world like where this is happening. I don't know how to accept that reality. I don't know how to accept it. Like, it makes me think like, yo, what timeline am I on? Don't know what to do. I don't know how to accept this. I can't believe like these thoughts keep popping in my head in just a very little information I got about, like, breeding children, like, what are we talking about? Oh my god, I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how to accept that. Oh god, I hope that this is some algorithm hoax. It's the only thing I could believe. Like, I hope everything that I just heard is some, like, coordinated, fucked up like agenda, or like these people that I saw talking about it, or like saying crazy shit to make you think they were in the files. That's the only thing. Because if it's not that, if it is true, I don't know how. I don't know how to accept that reality. I really don't. You know, like, you hear about, like the idea of satanic cults, or and I think I just always assumed it to be like folklore. One person was talking about them breeding babies, and they don't have birth certificates. I don't know how to do this. Like, I feel like I'm ashamed to be a human. Like, I can't believe this is the reality I'm experiencing. I feel so, like, sheltered and naive. I had no idea. Like, in movies and stuff, you hear these sorts of things just get mentioned, but I never considered that any of it could be real. Like, one person was talking about harvesting organs. And there's like a couple videos of this little girl saying insane shit. And from the little that I saw, like, what I gathered is that I think that she was raised in that reality, and she's talking about it, but it's impossible to comprehend what you're hearing from her, because she's speaking like it's normal, because it's the only thing she's ever known. feels like the only thing that would make sense to me right now is if like this is some coordinated attack and those are AI generated things. Because that little girl can't be real. And what she's saying can't be real. I don't know what to do. I feel like I just woke up and like the files must have just gotten released because even in this moment I'm like, I feel like I woke up into like an alternate reality. If this is real, like this is paradigm shifting, like if this is real, I don't see how the world can continue. This feels like a shock. I don't understand. Like I feel like I must have been like critically naive. Because I never for a moment ever considered that maybe any of that kind of stuff was true. Like almost like the idea of like vampires, like a folklore that exists in the world, but that you kind of are like, oh yeah, but that's not real. Like that's how I think, how I thought of like the concept of like satanic cult. I have to imagine most people existed in a way similar to me. Because if it's real, it's the only thing that is reasonable to me that we would be talking about all day, every day. Like, it's the only thing that matters then. Like, if this is real, nothing else matters. Like, what else can you do? Like, whether I have these files distilled to me through others whose minds that I've trusted in the past to, like, almost like paraphrase it for me, but ultimately, I guess I'm gonna have to look at them myself. And if it's real, nothing else matters. Like, it's not something you can put out of your awareness. Like, all right, well, you know, in a way that, at least myself, but like, you compartmentalize things you think you understand about the horrors in the world, like what was going on in Gaza, and, you know, just crazy things, but that you almost have to compartmentalize it, because if you're going to function in the world, you know, you can go on a deep dive and be thinking about it, and then you're like, okay, well, I have to shut that off because I need to earn money, or I need to whatever else. But this feels like it overrides everything. Like, I don't know why this example came into my head. Like, this is like if we were told that there was an asteroid coming to Earth and its trajectory is Earth, and it's not gonna miss it, and it's a, like, world-ending asteroid. And it's like, until it comes, like, how could you ever participate in life in any way? Because you know none of it will matter. So you can't really go back to your regular scheduled programming and live, because you know, like, the end is coming. So then I just imagine, like, what would that be like to live and exist with that information as part of your reality? Like, I don't know how life and society would continue to function. And, like, that example is what this feels like to me. I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, this is some weird fever dream. They must have just been released today. Because, like, this is the most I don't think I ever considered that, like, when you hear about, like, satanic rituals, I don't think I ever considered if it was true. Or that, like, even if it's true, it's like a one-off, super fringe thing that, like, never really happens, but it has, even if ever, like, a couple of times or something, because I don't know how to exist with this information. I can't imagine anyone having a different reaction than I am right now. I can't imagine that anybody could come to hear this information and that they'd be able to put it out their minds, like, these atrocities happening at a distance, like wars and stuff, like, we're able to do that. This is like a level of evil and depravity that I don't think I realized, like, humans could do and were capable of. Like, I feel like it's shame to be a human. Like, I feel like, wait, what? Like, wait, what? Like, I feel like maybe we should be put down as a species. Like, something somewhere along the way got fucked up. If that's possible. And it's not like you're hearing about it, like, some one guy doing this shit, like, in some house in the middle of nowhere, and you find out, and that's so crazy and fucked to find out. But, like, that it's this, like, one-off. But these people are doing it in, like, groups, like, I feel like I had no idea about the world or something. Like, I feel like, like, I didn't know this was the reality I was a part of. Like, I don't know what to do with this information. Like, I don't know how to be in relationship to life and, like, humanity with this information. Like, I don't know how. And, like, if this isn't everybody's reaction, perhaps that reveals to me that maybe I'm was far more naive than I could have ever conceived of. That was everybody out here living lives with the awareness that this could be going on? Like, did everybody take it more seriously than I did? Like, I keep having the same thought of, like, I can't believe this is the timeline I'm on. And I only got little, like snippets of like just some of what these files hold. You know, you like watch Squid Game and you see those rich elites that watch this Hunger Games-esque thing happening. Or even the Hunger Games, like that. Like, I thought that in like Squid Game they were playing to this folklore of like what rich people could possibly be doing. But I thought that it was just like playing to this sort of folklore stereotype of like the depravity. I think I lent myself to like the idea that maybe there could be some version of a little bit of truth behind that, or like how could anything else ever matter? I mean, I guess I knew about like child soldiers, and that there are, I can't think of which ones it would be, but like some countries in Africa where they murder children's parents, or they make the child even do it. And they basically like steal and indoctrinate and brainwash and train these children to like be soldiers. Like I know that happens. Like so maybe it's like even sort of hypocritical, because like I accepted that, which is an insane thing to accept, I guess. Maybe because they're not Western or like American, and so like there's this cognitive like dissonance of like these cultures move in a different way, and so like maybe that's how I was in relationship to that, and that this just feels like, wait, but you're of my culture. Like, wait. And in so many ways of late, like, there's been this awareness of like, fuck, have the conspiracy theorists of the world like been right all along? And like that conversation has been had around like aliens and the moon landing is one that I've been encountering more often now, that was fake and staged. And I think slowly, like I've started to begin to accept, or like that, all right, well, maybe a lot of things that I thought were true, more than I realized, aren't and weren't. And again, that like, fuck, did these conspiracy theorists have it right? But this is one I never liked it. And again, I've only heard like snippets of information, and I can't even verify that these are real from the actual files. I don't know. But it discusses like that they eat humans, like human flesh, like they eat babies, that they drink blood, that they harvest organs. Like I keep having this thought that like, if I were like an extraterrestrial like species that are like more evolved than us, like I would put this place down. Like humans, like they are a fucked and failed creation. Like the idea that like human beings are even capable of this, like it makes me feel like maybe we're a flawed species. Like I never considered this like level of depravity, like ever. I feel like I'm high right now. Like every time I try to tell myself like, alright, maybe you're being a little dramatic, or it won't be like that when you look into it, or like when people talked about the Epstein files, I thought we were talking about like perhaps young girls. I never let my mind think of like anything younger than like maybe like 12 or 13, like, which again is, it's horrific. But I thought that that was all we were talking about. And again, horrific, but that's what I thought we were talking about. I never for a moment considered, in a different way, the only other time I had this experience was in the 2016 election. Like, once the numbers were coming in, and like the time when we had to accept that, like, oh my God, Donald Trump's about to be president. Like, I remember that having the feeling of, up until that moment, I had never considered the reality, the possibility that he could actually win, that was actually possible. And I remember being like, I don't know how to accept that his name is like, he'd be President Trump. Like, that I never even entertained it. Like, I hadn't considered it until that moment, and I was like confronted with the reality, and I feel like, whoa, I wasn't prepared. Like, I never thought that. I never thought about it. And it was just like, you just had to accept it. And it was like mind fucking. Especially like at that time, and I had so little exposure to even realize that enough people were kind of he was gaining traction. Like, I just never, it was such a ridiculous notion that like Donald Trump could ever be president. Like, especially at that time, like, he was this joke of a person. Like, and it was like, it was like hard, it was like access shifting. Anyway, I say that because like that was like the only other experience I could have, I could like think of, like, that feels in some way similar to this. Like, finding out shocking and unbelievable information that you just have to accept and take in as this is a part of reality as I know it. Like, okay, Donald Trump is president. Like, he's the president of the United States. Like, it just, your mind would break. I remember like thinking at the time, like, dude, if you like told somebody 10 years ago that like Donald Trump could be president, like, it was the most ridiculous thing, especially then, that you could ever think of. And that's the only thing I can think that it's the closest thing to what this feels like. Is like, it's some sort of alternate reality. Like, even my mind, it keeps like trying to settle into, all right, like, it's probably not that. That's probably not true. And what's fucking wild about this is, like, it's not just hearing, like, information from even if trusted sources, but like these files are like proof. And so you can't even like feign ignorance of, like, even if there's a million people coming out, whistleblowers being like, this shit's happening, you can kind of, even if you're fooling yourself, be like, yeah, it's probably not true, or it's probably not. Like, this is like assaulting, like you can't look away. You can't say, well, I don't really believe it. Like, I suppose the only way you could is if, like, if you deny the Epstein files are, like, real. And that's the only way you'd be able to do that, would be, like, they were doctored or made up or whatever to control us. Like, but if we could all accept that these files are legitimate, then I truly don't know how to be in relationship to reality. Like, my mind keeps trying to settle and like maybe you will end up accepting it or whatever, and but then it's followed by some of the things that I'm like, no, no, but they're talking about drinking blood and harvesting babies and eating babies. I don't know if there's a cognitive dissonance that could be applied here. Like, again, like, there's an awareness of atrocities that are being lived in the world, and but I don't know how. I can't conceive of how I could ever come to accept a reality where this is true. It feels like something that I have to look into this more.